Hello, welcome to tip number 11. This is Coach Carole with you today, and today's tip is the one you see scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Tip number 11, what did you do when? Now, these, of course, have to do with what to do when some things don't go right or do go right for you in your genealogy research or storytelling. I'm going to share my screen with you today. So what do you do when you cannot find a record? And this happens often for genealogists. What do you do then? You need to be a detective. That means you need to ask lots of questions. I did that recently when I could not find a record for my dad in the recently released 1921 census for England and Wales. And then I realized maybe he wasn't in either of those countries at the time of the census. Now, I knew that he was in the RAF, so I had to find his service record and find out where he was. And when I did that, I was able to discover that he was actually stationed in Scotland, in the RAF base for Lucas. And that was all clearly written on his record. So after being a bit of a detective, I was able to get around that issue. So that one solved the problem for me in that instance. So what do you do when you do find a record? That's a different problem. In this case, you need to be a librarian. When you find a record, such as a service record or a birth, marriage, or death record, then you need to carefully archive that into your own repositories, whether it be your filing system on your computer or in Evernote or wherever you keep your records. So you need to be a librarian, and of course, you need to know where to find them later. So that was the answer to that problem. Not that I mind that problem at all. When you do find records, it's a great excitement. And the next question, what do you do when you share your research? Falling over my words today. So what do you do when you share your research? So in this case, what I'd like to advise you to do is to tell your story. So be a storyteller. If you write a blog, tell us how you found that record. Tell us how you went through the steps to locate it, what questions you asked, where you went, etc. But tell it in a way that makes it interesting for the reader. So there are 3 tips for you today. 3 in 1, a bonus for what do you do when you can't find a record, when you do find a record, and you want to share your research with other people. If you'd like to know more, you can go to my course where all of these tips are included for you, and I'm adding to them each week, and that's at my academy at coachcaroleonline.thinkific.com, and you'll find the new course there for you. And if you want to read more about what I'm doing with my storytelling, you can go to my blog posts at coachcarolewriting.wordpress.com. I'm engaged in the 52 Ancestors 52 Weeks Challenge, and week number 1 was Foundations, and you'll find my post on Foundations there in my blog. That's it for me today. I'll be back with more later. Bye for now.